These Chinese organizations have been blacklisted by the U.S. The U.S. Department of Commerce recently added to its export blacklist 28 Chinese and 3 Burmese entities, accusing them of supplying security equipment to the militaries of Iran and Myanmar, and helping to promote Beijing's military modernization. The new additions to the entity list means U.S. firms need licenses to export goods to the companies, which are rarely, if ever, granted. The entities are accused of taking part in activities contrary to the national security or foreign policy interest of the United States. Welcome back to N.D.P. News. Whether you're a new viewer or a returning one, we're always glad to have you here. Our channel offers extensive coverage of international relations and current geopolitical events. Thank you for tuning in. Today's video will cover the U.S.'s recent blacklisting of certain Chinese companies and the reasons behind it. Also, we will revisit the February spy balloon incident and explore the response of U.S. officials at that time. Keep watching. The U.S. Department of Commerce has added an additional 38 companies from 6 countries to its entity list. These countries include China, Pakistan, Myanmar, Belarus, Russia, and Taiwan. The reason for their inclusion varies from allegedly repressing ethnic minorities, helping with the development of ballistic missiles, aiding China's military modernization, to providing surveillance equipment and services to Burma's military regime. Among these companies are units of the Chinese genomics company BGI, which has been accused of using genetic data to repress ethnic minorities in China. BGI Research, BGI Tech Solutions Hong Kong, and BGI's forensic subsidiary, Forensics Genomics International, were included on the list due to their significant risk of contributing to Chinese government surveillance. The statement from the U.S. Department of Commerce stated that their collection and analysis of genetic data pose a severe threat to the privacy of ethnic minorities in China. BGI has been previously reported to be collecting genetic data from millions of women, which it uses for sweeping research on the traits of populations. It has also been accused of collaborating with China's military. In 2020, the Commerce Department had added 2 units of BGI Group, the world's largest genomics company, to its economic blacklist for conducting genetic analyses used to further the repression of China's minority Uyghurs. In addition to BGI, the U.S. Department of Commerce has accused other companies, including Chinese cloud computing firm Inspur, of acquiring and attempting to acquire U.S. goods to support China's military modernization efforts. These additions are likely to further strain relations between the U.S. and China. Being added to the entity list makes it challenging for targeted companies to receive shipments of U.S. goods from suppliers. What is the basis for this list? The latest additions to the entity list announced by commerce officials comprise a multitude of entities that have been found to be supplying or attempting to supply a sanctioned entity in Iran. Not only that, but it also encompasses 3 firms in Russia, along with others in Belarus and Taiwan, all of which have been identified as contributors to Russia's military. The newly imposed sanctions have also targeted companies in China and Myanmar for their alleged violations of human rights. Furthermore, they have gone after companies in China and Pakistan for their involvement in ballistic missile programs that are a matter of concern, especially those belonging to Pakistan. Burmese entities such as the Department of Transport and Communications, Fiska Security and Communication Company, and Nawangyo Technologies Company have also been blacklisted due to their alleged assistance to Myanmar's military junta. The Assistant Commerce Secretary Thea Kendler said in a statement that, "When we identify entities that pose a national security or foreign policy concern for the United States, we add them to the entity list to ensure we can scrutinize their transactions. This step has been taken in light of the mounting tensions between Washington and Beijing." The Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Export Enforcement, Matthew Axelrod, stated that, "We cannot allow our adversaries to misuse and abuse technology to commit human rights abuses and other acts of oppression." He went on to say, "That's why we're committed to preventing bad actors from siphoning off our technology. We will take an all-tools approach to combat this threat." However, The practice of blacklisting foreign firms has also been criticized by Beijing, particularly with the increasing frequency of new additions to the entity list since the Trump administration's high-profile blacklisting of Chinese telecoms giant Huawei in May 2019. A spokesperson for China strongly condemned this move by the U.S. government and urged them to respect basic facts, abandon ideological bias, and stop suppressing Chinese companies under false pretexts. The issue has also affected the popular social media app TikTok, with the U.S. government giving government agencies 30 days to delete the app from federal devices and systems due to data security concerns. Although the ban only applies to government devices, some U.S. lawmakers are pushing for an outright ban. However, this move has also been criticized by China as an abuse of state power and suppression of firms from other countries. More than half of the 50 U.S. states have also banned the app from official devices, as well as Congress and the U.S. Armed Forces. Now, if you're enjoying the video so far, take a moment to hit the like button as we continue. How did U.S. officials respond to the suspected spy balloon incident? Earlier this year, the United States Commerce Department blacklisted 6 Chinese entities. The department claims that these companies were supporting China's military modernization efforts, particularly in the aerospace programs that include airships and balloons. The announcement comes a day after U.S. lawmakers unanimously denounced China's use of a suspected spy balloon that flew over North America last week. The balloon, which flew from Alaska to South Carolina for several days, captured the attention of many regular Americans and officials, who then witnessed the U.S. military shoot it down off the country's east coast. The 6 companies added to the entity list are now restricted from obtaining U.S. items and technologies without government authorization. The People's Republic of China's use of high-altitude balloons violates our sovereignty and threatens U.S. national security, said Undersecretary of Commerce for Industry and Security Alan Estevez in a statement. Today's action makes clear that entities that seek to harm U.S. national security and sovereignty will be cut off from accessing U.S. technologies, he added. The 6 companies included in the list are Beijing Nanjing Aerospace Technology Company, China Electronics Technology Group Corporation 48th Research Institute, Dongguan Lingkong Remote Sensing Technology Company, Eagles Men Aviation Science and Technology Group Company, Guangzhou Tian Haisheng Aviation Technology Company, and Shangxi Eagles Men Aviation Science and Technology Group Company. According to a document released by the Commerce Department, China's military is utilizing high-altitude balloons for intelligence and reconnaissance activities, which is contrary to U.S. national security and foreign policy interests. China, on the other hand, insists that the balloon was a civilian airship used for research, mainly meteorological purposes. However, a State Department official has indicated that the U.S. believes the balloon to be under the control of the Chinese People's Liberation Army and is part of a fleet that China has sent over more than 40 countries on 5 continents to collect intelligence information. But what do you think will result from the blacklisting of these Chinese organizations? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you can stay up to date with our latest videos. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you in our next one. This has been N.D.P News, signing off.